Hello everybody, I'm Liz from Giving Tuesday. Welcome to this afternoon's webinar. Our topic today is partnering with business for Giving Tuesday, and without further ado, I'd like to introduce Kirsten Beardsley from CanadaHelps. Take it away, Kirsten.
All right, thank you, Liz. And good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us to discuss Giving Tuesday yet again. So I just wanted to, I know that many of you know all about Giving Tuesday and what a great success it was last year in its inaugural year in Canada. So what we're hoping is that you will join us this year if you didn't last, or join us again if you were an early adopter and participant last year, and to make it an even bigger success in 2014. So we're getting started really early, which is fantastic, getting started in the summer, so that we can all get ready and get organized for this year's Giving Tuesday. So today what we're going to be talking about are ways that your organization can partner with businesses to increase the impact and grow some momentum around your Giving Tuesday initiative. So if one of the things that you're planning for Giving Tuesday is around a partnership with business, this is the webinar for you. And we will go through some strategies around finding the right partner, but then also some activation ideas and ways that you can, different ways that you can partner with business to make this work. So just a little bit about me, I guess. My name is Kirsten Beardsley, and since I'm not visible on the Hangout, I thought I'd throw up a picture. And I do charity engagement here at CanadaHelps. And I know that most of you are well aware of what CanadaHelps is and who we are, but I just wanted to remind those of you who are less aware of what we do is that CanadaHelps is a charity itself, and what we do is provide secure, low-cost, and easy-to-use online fundraising solutions for Canadian charities. So we like to say we're a charity helping charities. And we're also a founding partner in bringing Giving Tuesday to Canada with Give3 as the lead partner, and then a bunch of other organizations and companies that really saw this as a fantastic opportunity to start a new holiday and a new dialogue around giving in Canada. So first we're going to talk, let's get right into the presentation today. First we're going to talk a little bit about Giving Tuesday, and I know that a lot of you already know what Giving Tuesday is all about, but for those of you who are new to the movement and new to the concept, I thought I'd just take a few minutes on this slide to talk about the overall concept. So really, Giving Tuesday is a National Day of Giving in Canada. It's a day dedicated to giving back, and it's while we talk about the Canadian movement, you should be aware that it's actually an international movement. So it was founded in 2012 in the United States, and there are countries all over the world that have adopted Giving Tuesday as a day of giving back. So it follows Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so 2 days that are really all about kind of the retail sector and consumption, and it really kicks off. And so what Giving Tuesday does is kick off the giving season. So while we have days that kick off the shopping season, the end of year and holiday related shopping season, Giving Tuesday is really about kicking off the giving season and creating kind of a focal point for harnessing some of those discussions and thoughts around philanthropy and giving and how that affects us as a Canadian society. So Giving Tuesday, as I said, was started in the US in 2012 and brought to Canada, by Give3 and CanadaHelps last year in 2013. And it was just, it blew us away, the expectations. It was an overwhelming success. There were over 1,300 partners from across the country that signed up on the Giving Tuesday site to take on some sort of action around Giving Tuesday. And media picked it up, CanadaHelps and other companies that process online donations. We all saw an increase in giving through our giving tools. So it really helped increase philanthropy on that day. And so it really kind of crystallized this discussion that we think needs to happen around giving and philanthropy, and making sure that that's part of the holiday or the giving season as well. So really, another thing to know about Giving Tuesday is that it's a movement, and so it's not something that is controlled or directed by any one group of people. There's a core group, especially at Give3 and CanadaHelps, that facilitates making Giving Tuesday a success and make sure that it becomes prominent and part of the public discussion, especially in the media on that day. But really, it's all about it, because it's a movement, it's all about each individual organization taking some sort of action for Giving Tuesday, and it could be any range of action. So there's no one going to tell you this is what you need to do or this is how you need to do it. No one's setting a fundraising goal for you if you choose to fundraise on Giving Tuesday. It's really about how your organization chooses to participate and coming up with a great idea and a great way for your organization to join the Giving Tuesday movement. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, are some of those ideas around how your organization can participate, and in particular, how you can participate in partnership with a business. And so last year we had a number of companies, so organizations from the corporate sector, participate and sign on as Giving Tuesday partners. So companies as diverse as Tim Hortons and PayPal and CIBC all did different activations in partnership with different charities in order to participate in Giving Tuesday. So first, what we're going to talk about is finding the right partner. So we think that that's the first step in figuring out how you can go about creating an activation that's in partnership with a business. Of course, if you already have a business or either a local small business, a retailer, or a large corporation that you partner with, this is an easier project for you. You can start meeting with them now to discuss ways that your organizations can work together for Giving Tuesday. But for many organizations, it's a matter first of seeking out and finding the right partner from the business sector. So no matter if your first step is finding a partner or if you already have one in mind, it's probably best to approach them with an idea already formulated of how you see the partnership working. A lot of businesses, as we all know, don't invest a ton of time in thinking through their corporate social responsibility or how they can engage with different charities. And so if you go to them with an idea that's already formed, you're more likely to get buy-in, and especially if you can articulate the value to them. So the first step is finding the right business partner. So look for a company that is connected to your mission in some way. So either a local company or a small business that has an interest in supporting the community. So, you know, a lot of times when we think of partnering or getting funding from companies, we think of the big kind of national companies, including the ones on the previous slide. But there's a lot of opportunity in your local community for small businesses and retailers that are probably just don't know how to get involved in their community because they've never been by charities. So think of those organizations that might be looking to support the local community in some way. And you can also think of your cause and how there might be some connection or how that might relate to a business. So if you support children, you might look at toy stores or other retailers aimed at children. If you're an environmental organization, you can look at sporting goods or some sort of environmentally focused manufacturing business in your community. If you are an organization that provides food support to people, you can look at either food manufacturing or food retailers in your community. So it's always nice when there's that tie-in between the work that you do and the business, because you're already kind of talking the same language. And it's also really good to look at existing relationships. So if you go through your database of existing donors or volunteers or people who've attended events for your organization, you probably will see a number of local business owners. And so those are great people to approach, given that they've already shown support to your organization, and say, and just start that conversation and see if you can engage not only on an individual or personal level, but also as owners of a business, or if businesses have supported you in the past. They're an ideal place to go to deepen that relationship. Next, you want to think about mutually beneficial partnerships. So not just ones that benefit your organization. So while you're obviously going to seek out a partner that has something to offer your organization, or you probably wouldn't seek out the partnership in the first place, it's important when you're thinking through what partner you want to engage with and what sort of program you want to put in place, think about how the partnership could benefit the business. In particular, how to help them meet their business objectives. So framing it in terms of how it will help them is obviously going to get them to buy into the idea more fully. So, we all know that businesses and the people that run businesses are fantastic people and they want to get involved in the community, but when it, just for altruistic reasons, but when it also provides an incentive in terms of their business objectives, then they're more likely to get involved. So you can think of things like, does this initiative help them reach new customers? Will it build awareness in the community and drive more customers to their company? Does it enhance their brand in terms of their alignment with your organization and making, solidifying their position in the community as someone who is giving back? Does it promote awareness of the work that they do and the products that they offer? Will it increase traffic to their online properties? Are they trying at the moment? You might want to check out if they're trying to drive traffic to their Facebook page or their Twitter page as a way of building kind of a loyalty of customers, and can you participate in that somehow? Or is this help them with employee engagement and morale, which is a big one as well. So again, when you're thinking through which partner and which sort of program you want to put in place, you want to think through how you can benefit not just your philanthropic objectives, but their business objectives as well. And there are things to keep in mind. So not all partnerships, as I'm sure you know, are successful, and not all of them are the best match. And so before you enter into a partnership, there are just some things that a lot of people who've worked on partnerships know are kind of success factors. So make sure that the partnership is win-win. So and this is for your organization as well as the business. We talked in the previous slide about how the partnership could benefit the business, but if it's not going to then benefit your organization, you should second guess whether that's the right option for your organization. If this really is just about helping them drive awareness and customers, you need to make sure there's something in it for you as well. You need to establish a very firm level of trust in the organization, because there is always a risk associated in partnering with a brand. So, if you partnered with a company that then turned out to employ child labor around the world or something, and you were in a company, you're a charity help children, there could be a real brand risk there in terms of why your organization would partner with them. So you need to make sure you're doing some due diligence around researching the company and establishing those relationships of trust right up front. And something that can help with that, of course, is having some formal agreements in place and making sure that all parties agree to them. You want to ensure that you have common goals, so make sure when you're developing or designing a program that you're working on that you agree to what the positive outcomes will look like, that you're all working towards the same set of objectives. And as an organization, as a nonprofit, it's really important to keep to your mission. A lot of times these partnerships can take us off in a direction that's not necessarily core to the work that we do. So we need to be very protective of our core work and make sure that these partnerships enhance our ability to serve our mission and not drift us off of those. So just a few more thoughts on clearly defined roles and goals. It's important, as I said, to take time to clearly articulate and define all the goals and roles of each organization to ensure the successful execution of any partnership. So some of the things you want to think about in advance are, how will each party be recognized? Who is responsible for reaching out to media and to bringing on other community partners? So who is going to be doing that? You want to know in advance. What are the expectations around your availability, and what resources is each party willing to invest? And I was recently at a cocktail event for a charity They were just having an open house, and I was talking. They had invited, you know, kind of friends and supporters and you know, donors and board members to just celebrate the work that their organization did as kind of a midway through summer open house. And I was talking to one of their corporate donors, and he was saying that he had recently ended a long-standing relationship with a charity they had supported for years at his company because the charity just simply wasn't available to attend their events. And for him, supporting a charity or a community organization was really about morale boosting in their company. It was really about invigorating their employees around the support of a particular cause. And they held a number of events throughout the year that where they would hand over a big check or they would hold a golf tournament. And they actually ended the relationship with the previous organization simply because the organization didn't make themselves available to attend those employee events. And because the goal of the company was to, you know, invigorate their employees and engage them, they really saw that as important. So it could be something as simple as clarifying that you will attend an employee event or that you will be available for media to do jointly. That can kind of make or break the partnership, especially if you want it to go on for years to come. All right, so those are just some things to keep in mind as we start thinking about organizations that we might want to approach and engage with for Giving Tuesday. And so now what we're going to talk about is kind of the more fun part, which are ideas. So some ideas for business cause partnerships that could be really fantastic for Giving Tuesday. So again, as I mentioned previously, I think that it's easiest if you don't have an existing kind of business relationship or kind of one that makes sense for Giving Tuesday. It's easier to approach a local business with an idea, and then you can kind of iterate from there and work together to really by it. But it's good not just to go and meet and say, oh, we want Giving Tuesday, can you help, without any sort of concrete idea in place in order to make that happen. And you also want to think about making it simple for companies to participate in, especially if this is kind of the first go at a partnership in the first year that the company's participated in Giving Tuesday. You want to make sure that they don't have to throw a ton of resources behind it and that they can really kind of see the positive outcomes right from the get-go. So don't make it too complicated. So the first idea that we're going to share is the idea of finding a matching partner. And this is, if you're launching a fundraising campaign for Giving Tuesday, this is just a really great, it's an easy activation. It's easy for companies to understand, and it also doubles the value of the donations you receive on Giving Tuesday. So you find a company, ask them to match donations made to your organization on Giving Tuesday, so on December 2nd, or you can do a larger time frame, so you could do leading up to Giving Tuesday or launch your campaign on Giving Tuesday and going throughout the giving season through to the end of the year. And the way that most matches get planned is that the company will match, but they will set a cap. Obviously, you don't want to have it so that they don't know how much they're going to end up giving, so they can set a cap that they're comfortable with, and you can publicize that donations will be doubled during that time frame up to a certain amount. And then you can promote the match to your donor and let them know that their donations will have a greater impact. And I can't say enough about how powerful this is. We know through CanadaHelps, but also just in looking at broadly at fundraising programs, that a match is a strong motivator for donors, that they really see, that they really kind of come together and really make that donation if they think their donation is going to go further. We see that when the government matches donations following an international crisis or disaster, or when companies match donations. It's a real motivator for donors. So it's a good program to think about. And this was a great one that was part of Giving Tuesday last year. So the Alzheimer Society of Nova Scotia partnered with Deloitte and so the Alzheimer Society set a goal of $5,000 in donations from individuals, and then Deloitte put $5,000 towards that and said they would match dollar for dollar up to $5,000, and so they were able to raise over $10,000 and just double their donations. So that's just a great example. Another idea is simply kind of more generic, which is just letting companies and businesses in your area know that your organization is hoping to find a partner that will adopt your organization as its Giving Tuesday cause. So if Giving Tuesday is getting traction in your community, it might be as simple as calling up a few businesses that you have relationships with and saying, look, we're open to partner with you for Giving Tuesday. You know, if you're looking for something to do on Giving Tuesday, making a donation to our organization could be how you celebrate Giving Tuesday. So that's just a very vague and simple idea of just putting the word out there that your cause is available for support. Another really good idea, and it's related to this, is around employee giving. So if you identify a couple of small businesses in your community, you can ask them to promote your cause to their employees in a Giving Tuesday employee giving campaign. So again, it's a lot of companies are looking for ways to engage their employees, to build morale, and philanthropy is one of the key ways to do that. And so simply reaching out to those businesses, especially kind of the medium-sized, small and medium-sized enterprises in your community that have, 50, 100 employees, probably don't have rigorous employee giving programs and could potentially very well be looking for kind of a cause to rally around. And so just getting out there and letting them know that you're available for their employees is a great first step. If you have a partner that is really engaged and really excited and has a bit more and has some resources to put behind it, you could do around employee giving, you could do a fundraising challenge leading up to Giving Tuesday. So this is where departments or divisions or teams within a company would work together to raise funds for your cause within kind of a short time frame in a friendly competition, and then the team that raises the most funds can receive something exciting from the company, like a lunch out or time with the CEO or whatever they think is a really fun kind of reward for raising the most funds. And this could also work, with a bit more coordination with groups of local small businesses, where each business raises funds on behalf of for your organization, and they compete with each other. So think of retailers that are all competing to raise funds. So that could work as well. It probably would require a little bit more coordination, but you could engage, for example, a business improvement area, so BIA, for a particular community to get their businesses or retailers involved. So it's just kind of the idea of creating this fundraising challenge. Again, your organization is the beneficiary, but there are benefits to the business in terms of rallying their employees and getting them engaged in charitable giving, and creating this sort of fun competition and team building and morale boosting. And just a reminder that, of course, if you want to do this kind of fundraising challenge, that CanadaHelps does have giving pages. They're soon to be renamed fundraising pages for simplicity. And these fundraising pages are free and available to anyone who wants to fundraise for any charity, so that they can simply and easily set that up and do that online at no cost to you or to them. So that's a great way to engage local business. Another idea is to partner with a retailer and just talk about some in-store giving. Ask stores and other retailers to promote your cause to customers and ask for donations in store, so they could have literature available to hand out to customers. They could talk to them about Giving Tuesday and why they're promoting a particular cause on that day, and then they can actually collect kind of checkout donations. So they could put either cans like this one on the screen or some sort of collection at their store. And of course, if receipts aren't issued, and most checkout donations don't issue receipts, they could offer an in-store incentive as well for making a donation. So they could say, if you put in, $5 into a donation, we'll throw in an extra, I don't know, earring or headband or something that might be of value, and then they can promote that as a way of driving customers to the store. GivingTuesday, you benefit as well, of course, in increased awareness and growing the awareness of your organization with a group of people that you wouldn't have reached otherwise. And we have a fun kind of example of that from last year's Giving Tuesday, and that's what PayPal did. So PayPal didn't necessarily pick a cause, but they decided to partner with Jimmy's Coffee, which is a local coffee company, independent coffee company here in Toronto. And they, what they did was pay for everyone's coffee. And when people found out that PayPal had covered the tab for their espresso or their Americano or whatever it was, then they the barista who was serving that person would explain to them a little bit about Giving Tuesday and why PayPal had chosen to cover their coffee, and then encourage them to think about giving back. So it was a way of really getting people engaged in Giving Tuesday and to think about what cause they would like to support. And since you just got a kind of they called it PayPal it forward, which is really cute. So now that you've had your coffee covered, could you then pay it forward in some way and give a donation or help someone out in some way? So it was just a way of spreading awareness of the Giving Tuesday movement and of philanthropy. There's another example of this as well with a restaurant in Montreal, Chez L'Evêque. They collected donations for several causes that they are close with in Montreal from their customers, and they also made a corporate gift. So they are a company that's always valued philanthropy and has always donated to several causes and charities. And for Giving Tuesday, they identified 3 organizations in their community that they wanted to help out, raise awareness, ask their customers for donations, and then in turn make a corporate gift to those organizations. You can also talk to businesses about their year-end giving. So it's not only individuals, of course, who make gifts at that time of year. Companies are also making their year-end gifts to their clients, to their supporters, to their boards, whatever it may be. So you can encourage, instead of making a traditional kind of gift basket sent to the office, you can encourage them to make a charitable gift in honor of your organization. And so this is something that I know is increasing, and a lot of employees and a lot of partners and a lot of client customers really see the value in that. So rather than getting a basket full of plants that are going to not last through the winter, or yet another box of chocolates, which we all seem to get so many of during the holiday season, this is a way of really showing we value your relationship, we value your business, and so what we've done is gone and made a donation in your honor to a local organization that we value and we really want to support. Of course, another way of doing this is offering, companies can buy CanadaHelps charity gift cards and then direct those to any charity that they want to support. But if you're approaching a local business, you can talk to them about how they can make those employee, client, and other stakeholder gifts to your organization in honor of those people. So it's just it's a way, because Giving Tuesday is part of that giving season anyways, it's a nice tie-in for those businesses. Another way of getting businesses involved in Giving Tuesday that I honestly couldn't come up with a catchier way of saying it other than take action and we'll donate. Companies can promote their networks to take a particular action, and for every time that action is achieved, donate a certain amount to your cause. So let me explain a little bit. This is a great example here on the screen with CIBC. So CIBC was obviously hoping to get a lot of awareness around their Giving Tuesday program. And so what they did was every time someone retweeted their Giving Tuesday message, they donated $1 up to $10,000 to CIBC Miracle Day Kids Charities. So they have a cause that they tend to support. So again, it's about thinking about some of the goals that the business you're looking to partner with is trying to achieve, and seeing if they can achieve those goals while also benefiting your organization by donating. We were talking about this kind of on the Giving Tuesday team, and Woodrow, who works with Give3 and is a founding member of Giving Tuesday, was saying that he's seen this kind of activation really be successful, that people are really motivated if they think the action they take is going to result in a donation to charity. So even more sometimes than a personal incentive. So if they think they're going to get a gift card or something at the end of taking an action, if they think a donation is going to happen, they're really motivated to take action. So that's something that you can share with the business, that you're probably going to get more traction around asking people to accomplish this goal if they also promote that a donation is going to happen. So again, a lot of this will be online if they want people to retweet something or like their Facebook page or sign up for a newsletter, but it could also be for every person who comes to our store today, or for every new sign up, we will donate up to a maximum amount. Another idea for partnering with business is simply getting a business to sponsor your Giving Tuesday campaign. So if you are launching a fundraising campaign, and obviously there are going to be costs associated with that, you can ask for a sponsorship. So get a local business to support the costs associated with Giving Tuesday and give them prominence in all of your campaign materials. So it's a win-win for them in terms of reaching new audiences and getting some awareness and supporting their brand, but it's also a way of facilitating your ability to launch a fundraising campaign, which we know doesn't necessarily come with no costs associated with it. And there's another, this is an example around raising awareness, but also around partnership, and getting a company to distribute awareness materials. So this is the Maple Ridge Pitt Meadows Community Services organization, teamed up with local business Haney Sewing and Sound, and distributed this a bookmark with a mail-out that was delivered to over 11,000 households in advance of Giving Tuesday. So I don't know the details quite, but it could have been that cost of the mail-out was shared, or that the local business took entirely to costs. And yet both are prominently mentioned, and it's about raising awareness for both organizations. You can also work with organizations for some non-monetary support. So if there's anything in particular that your organization is looking for that is not necessarily a financial donation, you can ask companies to fundraise from their clients or their customers on behalf of your organization. So of course the easiest example is that businesses can collect food. If you provide food to the community, that businesses can collect those from their customers, and they can do a bit of a food drive. But anything that you might want, you can share your company or your organization's wish list with local companies and ask them to then engage their customers in helping you get those wish lists ready, especially if you're doing any sort of support around the holiday season. I know a lot of community organizations do gift baskets for their clients, so you can go out to local businesses and say, here's our wish list of what we'd like to include in those gift baskets, and if you can, as a company, and get your customers involved, donate that in advance of the holidays, it would really help. We have a great example of that from Nelson, British Columbia. So a chiropractic office, the Sparkling Life Family Chiropractic, offered adjustments and new patient exams at no charge on Giving Tuesday in exchange for donations of food to the Nelson Food Cupboard. So people who came to the office without food donations had a portion of their fees donated to Chiropractic for the World, so another organization that they support. And they were really happy. The chiropractic practice was really happy that their clients really valued that. It was a way for them to engage new clients, get new people interested in their service, and feel a level of engagement and trust in the service because they were also supporting the community. So again, it was a win-win for everybody. All right, so another idea is whether if your organization is planning some kind of Giving Tuesday activity that will require teams of volunteers. Of course, one of the easiest places to go for getting those teams of volunteers is to engage local businesses and get their employees involved. And this is a great thing. A lot of companies are looking for these employee volunteer opportunities as a team building option. Just ask Habitat for Humanity and how many companies are engaging them to say, we'd love for our employees to come out and build a house, but I'm sure your organization can use this kind of energy as well. And again, businesses love it. So no matter what you're planning to do on Giving Tuesday, if it involves or would benefit from a team of volunteers, it's great to engage local business. Another thing to think about in terms of engaging volunteers, teams of volunteers from businesses, is whether your organization could use some skill volunteering, and if you can engage with a particular type of organization on or around Giving Tuesday, and that could be their way of supporting their organization and giving back. So do you need one day of support from an IT or company to kind of fix up your office servers and make sure that your organization is working well and efficiently? So you could engage some local IT organizations for that. Do you need kind of one day or a few hours of someone's or team's web development time in terms of just making some quick fixes on your website and getting ready for the giving season and optimizing it for those donations you'll get through to the end of the year? Is that a way for people to engage? Because companies love to share their employees and get them team building, but it can also be seen as a skill building exercise for people at their organization, and getting them out of the office and working together on a project is also a great way of mentoring younger employees or newer employees. So there's just a lot of opportunities here in terms of engaging partners to help you get stuff done around Giving Tuesday. And we have a couple of examples here. So Phil Communications in Montreal teamed up with Miriam Home, which is an organization that helps people with intellectual deficiencies. And what they did was help organize their Hanukkah party. So they, and the party was held on Giving Tuesday. So they brought in teams, communications off teams to help throw that party and volunteer at the party to make it a success for people at Miriam Home and allow them to enjoy a celebration in honor of giving and in honor of kind of Hanukkah and the year. So it's a great partnership. Another one, and this is out of the States, but it's one I do really like, is the Young Detroit Builders partner with local business to create teams that went about the community and winterized 20 homes in Detroit's North End. So if you're hoping to do something like this, you're actually taking action towards your mission, local business teams are really a great asset. Sorry, I'm just going to grab a drink of water here in a sec, so I don't cough in everyone's ear. But another way of thinking about partnering with business for Giving Tuesday is not necessarily in terms of what you can do together, what you can get out of a business, but it might be just to take that day and celebrate your corporate donors. So if you have a list of companies and businesses that have supported your organization over the years, you could take Giving Tuesday as a day to say thank you and just reach out to those organizations, whether it's visiting those companies, bringing some material about your organization, a thank you gift, just re-energizing those relationships and hopefully renewing that support for years to come. So we know that some organizations take Giving Tuesday as a way of thanking their supporters, and you could look to thanking your corporate supporters as well. Another idea that we had was around hosting a Giving Tuesday Open House. So one of the tips we have on the Giving Tuesday team around what you want to do for Giving Tuesday is that any sort of activation or plan or program that allowed for a bit of a media event around it, so that it had some sort of activity, got media attention, because of course, you know, CanadaHelps and Give3 and the other founding partners are out there promoting Giving Tuesday to the media on December 2nd. We'll be out there and making sure that the media covers this. But of course, the media is going to want to go and see and report on actual Giving Tuesday programs that are in place. So if you have anything or can think of anything that would have some kind of nice media hook, or a visual or a party, for example, that media could attend that supports philanthropy, then you're more likely to get either local or even national media coverage through it, and then kind of broaden the base of support. So that's one of our tricks. If you're thinking about how you want to participate in Giving Tuesday, thinking about how it could be media worthy as well. And so one of the ways to do that is hosting an open house. You could open your doors on Giving Tuesday to the community, invite your donors, invite your board, volunteers, you know, partner organizations and others in the community to just come, you know, politicians, anyone, just to come and as a chance to report back on the successes that you've had in the past year, talk about the challenges of the coming year, and to just say thank you for being a member of our supportive community. And what you can do is ask local business to provide in-kind support for hosting a Giving Tuesday Open House. So they could provide food, coffee, paper products, other party supplies, and then you could provide recognition to them at the event and in print materials at the event. So that's just one of the ways to get businesses involved. And again, it's a nice way that you might be able to get some media coverage as well. All right, and then another idea, again, this is a bit of a bigger idea, but it's really taking off and gaining a lot of traction, is to build coalitions and collaborations among organizations. So if you are in a smaller community or a neighborhood within a larger community, or you work together with a particular group of organizations, coming together with a group rather of local charities, businesses, public sector groups, politicians, and other, you know, engaged groups has an incredible amount of power, and you can all work together around Giving Tuesday. And so you could, you know, launch a fundraising campaign that supports that group of organizations, or just a big awareness campaign with, you know, kickoff parties and lots of traction and lots of support for this coalition. And one example that's from the United States is Be More Gives More on Giving Tuesday. So Baltimore has worked hard to declare itself the most generous city in America, and on Giving Tuesday they launched a 24-hour fundraising campaign, and they work together with businesses, they work together with nonprofits, they work together with politicians, they engaged people on, you know, prominent people on social media, and they actually raised in 24 hours $5.7 million for the community. And just the way they did it, they educated all stakeholders, so you need some kind of coordinating group to take on a lot of the work. So they educated stakeholders about what was needed and how they could promote it. They pushed out a lot of shareable content so that people could just you know, get the word out. They made donating easy, and then they built a reporting system so that nonprofits could then report back to the effects. And so this kind of coalition is just really effective. It's a way of kind of spreading out the expense. It's a way of growing the awareness in terms of, you know, if you've got a swell of momentum around a bunch of organizations and businesses, you're more likely to achieve a lot together. And this year, Guelph is taking on the challenge, and they're launching Guelph Gives. And they're going to take on this idea of building a coalition around philanthropy and around Giving Tuesday. And so that work is really starting to come together. So it's something to consider, especially if you're well connected in your local community, to pull this together and make an even bigger splash on Giving Tuesday. All right, and then just some other ideas to promote other ways of giving to businesses. So you can, as I mentioned, promote the idea that you're welcoming skilled volunteers, just asking for companies to raise awareness for your organization, to fundraise on behalf, to just promote your newsletter, share your Facebook page, ask them to retweet your messages, and donating goods, which I already mentioned. So, you know, even if you are just launching an online Giving Tuesday campaign, which is great, maybe you can ask local businesses to support you on the Giving Tuesday and build some momentum around that online campaign. Of course, you're not alone. Giving Tuesday itself has a lot of resources to help you to enact all of your Giving Tuesday plans. So look on the Giving Tuesday website for resources like those mentioned on this slide, and then you can join the Giving Tuesday mailing list to learn more as more resources get added and more webinars get launched, and you can download logos and graphic assets that you can add right onto your campaigns so that you can really kind of build this Giving Tuesday movement. All right, and of course, you'll also want to go to the Giving Tuesday website and sign up for their mailing list so that you can keep on top of upcoming webinars. So there will be a number of webinars given throughout, you know, from now until Giving Tuesday to help organizations like yours make the most of Giving Tuesday and get those great ideas going and activations started. All right, so that's the full content. I feel like I whipped through that. I know there were a ton of ideas there. So I'm happy to take any questions that you might have about any of the content that I've covered, and I'll just put up the Giving Tuesday slide here. So I don't know, someone on Give3 or one of my other Giving Tuesday colleagues might have to help me if I'm not doing this right. I've got the Q&A screen up, but I don't see any questions. I don't know if I'm missing anything.
I'm going to jump in, Kirsten.
Okay.
I think we have a shy audience today. There's quite a few of you out there, but I guess we've given you lots of ideas and things to think about. So please reach out to us if there's any questions that you have that we haven't been able to answer today. And since there don't seem to be any new questions coming in, oh, we do have a question. The slides will be available to be shared. We're going to keep you posted via Twitter and Google+. Watch us on Facebook, and if you're not seeing anything there, please feel free to reach out to us through the contact info link on the Giving Tuesday website. And yes, the slides will be available. So if there are no further questions, then I'd like to say thank you to everyone who attended. We really appreciate the energy that you're putting in, and look forward to seeing what plans are going to be in the making over the next few months. And thank you so much to Kirsten from CanadaHelps. And please stay tuned and join us for the next webinar. We'll look forward to seeing you there. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Kirsten.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.